alaikum and welcome to Friday's edition of the Today Show. I hope you are all well and getting back into the swing of normal life after Ramadan. Have you been enjoying your morning tea and coffee? I know I have, probably a bit too much. But anyway, moving on, let's talk about our wonderful guest today. I am joined by Sultana Pasha. She's a dedicated leader in the transport and community sectors. As a safeguarding manager in the Elizabeth line, I like to say the Lizzie line, she works to create a safer rail environment. She's also a key member of Muslims in Rail, where she has been instrumental in growing the Sisters membership, managing social media and leading charity initiatives. Her recent work includes organising Eid hampers, gifts for station staff, a thoughtful gesture to appreciate those who support passengers during Ramadan. Welcome to the show. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Sultana. How are you?
Wa alaikum salam. Alhamdulillah, I'm well, thank you.
Thank you very much for coming on. Before we start, I just want to say a massive congratulations to you because you've taken on a leadership role in quite a male-dominated industry, haven't you?
Well, yeah, but alhamdulillah, I have a very supportive network around me, and my colleagues within the leadership team are fantastic.
Mashallah, that is amazing news. Right, let's crack on. Why don't you tell us what inspired you to take on a leadership role in Muslims in Rail?
I'd like to think I was headhunted. And
I'm sure you were.
Well, no, I think I've been part of Muslims in Rail for a number of years.
Okay.
I've been a part of the Sisters Initiative, and I had previously attended quite a few events.
Right.
And I've always been quite interested in community work and giving back to the community. And I suppose having a chat with Brother Hassan, who's also part of the leadership team, he sort of said, you know, we need sisters representation. I think you've got the skill set, you know, come on board. So that was the start of the very long journey since 2020.
Repping it for the sisters out here. That's what we like to see. So what impact has the network had so far?
So I lead the sisters group, as you mentioned. So we've got a group of growing sisters. We've supported charity initiatives. So recently our Ramadan campaigns supported by our charity partner Muslim Aid, where we raised over £10,000 in charity, alhamdulillah. So it's really supporting our colleagues, our Muslim colleagues within the industry, getting them to connect with others working in the industry and inspiring them to contribute positively, both in the industry but also within the community.
So there's how many sisters in here, in your group, in Muslims in Rail, that you lead?
Well, I couldn't tell you how many sisters exactly, but we have a WhatsApp communications channel, and within that, I would say we have about 25 to 30 within the WhatsApp group, but we have a number of sisters across our social media platforms. We have about 3,000 followers on social media.
Wow.
Alhamdulillah.
That's quite a big following, isn't it?
Alhamdulillah. Amazing
news. So we mentioned there that you did an Eid hamper or Eid gift hamper initiative.
Yes.
What did that involve? I'm really interested in that.
Yes, so the Eid hampers, it's just a small gesture of thanks to our public servants, our colleagues that work across stations. They're really the unsung heroes. Similar to NHS workers, they work really long hours. They're not the best paid in the country either. So it's just a token of thanks, but also in where we're living in a society where unfortunately Islamophobia is growing. So it's really trying to challenge that narrative, and that narrative where Muslims are hostile. So through gifting the Eid hampers, number one is thank you, and here's a small gift. But number two is softening and opening the hearts of those who may previously not come across a Muslim, doesn't understand what Islam or Ramadan is. So in a short way, it is da'wah without trying to... we don't convert them.
I was just going to say, there's always an opportunity for da'wah, isn't there?
Yeah.
So during Ramadan, obviously, we had a competition every day where we gave away these hampers, and we had amazing dates and baklava. I'm really interested in what was in your Eid hampers, sis?
Oh, well, yeah, so we had fruits, there was teas, biscuits, really nice, nothing too extravagant, a modest hamper, but it was really well received, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah. Excellent news. Right, I believe we have got a video to show. We've got all of these different stations. Please, can you just talk through it? This is Cardiff, I believe, right?
Yep.
This is Cardiff station.
Yep, so Eid hampers were delivered across the UK. So England, across England, we had the major hubs. So we had Paddington, we've had Manchester, Birmingham, Cardiff in Wales. And actually, it was our first year reaching out to Cardiff, which was fantastic. And we also had Glasgow.
How many Eid hampers did you give out? Were there specific ones at each station, or? Yeah,
so it's one for the station. So it's usually the frontline colleagues managing the station operations.
Right, and then this is London Bridge. I was there not too long ago today. That looks very familiar to me.
Yeah, and actually the Eid hampers could not be, they were delivered by our fantastic ambassadors who went out. Who usually, some might be on leave, but actually it's these ambassadors who actually help us deliver some of our initiatives.
Was it the sisters delivering the Eid hampers, or just people who work for the Lizzie line?
Oh, no. So it was both brothers and sisters, and it wasn't just for the Elizabeth line, it was countrywide.
Right.
And actually we've seen, as the years have gone by, we've seen how rail operators...
Oh, that's your colleague with one of the hampers, right?
Yes. So that's Shihab, he's part of the ambassadors team, and he works for LNER.
That looks lovely.
Yeah, so really, really good. And actually, as I was saying, it's really good to see how some of the rail operators have embraced Ramadan, not Islam, Ramadan.
Yeah.
And actually, some of the operators this year have provided iftar care kits, if you like, for those fasting on the rail network, which have been lovely. So
what
for
do they involve?
Fasting passengers, they have dates, water, and a little snack. So I know Avanti and LNER, they participated, and there was other operators who participated in this initiative, and it's really lovely to see because
that's so thoughtful.
Yeah, absolutely,
very, very
for workplaces to be so inclusive and to think about the Muslim community. So really nice touch.
So how was your Ramadan?
Alhamdulillah.
Were you working during the month?
Yes, of course, yes. So, so I was working. I also have almost 2-year-old. And I think, alhamdulillah, fasting, not a problem at all. Allah has made it so easy for us. But being a parent to a very busy and inquisitive young man, it was somewhat challenging in terms of ibadah. But also remembering that, parenting in itself is a form of ibadah. May Allah accept it from us.
Of course it is. Not all superheroes wear capes, as they say.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
Mothers are the ultimate superheroes. But we've got some testimonials, I understand, from your colleagues. So why don't we watch those and see what they have to say?
Welcome everyone. Eid Mubarak to all the brothers and sisters across the network. My name is Asar Doctor. I'm one of the shift station manager working for Network Rail at London King's Cross. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Muslim in Rail for their kind gesture this afternoon. And here at London King's Cross, we pride ourselves in providing an excellent customer service and customer support for our passengers travelling for Ramadan time through our network. We make sure we assess passengers in getting home safe every day. And once again, I'd like to thank everyone, wishing everybody once again Eid Mubarak. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Muslims in Rail on behalf of everyone here at Paddington for yet another wonderful Eid hamper. We hope you all had a brilliant Ramadan at Muslims in Rail and a wonderful Eid. Thank you.
Oh, they were lovely there. So I believe you are also a safeguarding manager.
Yes.
Now that's a very, very important role on the network, isn't it?
I'd like to think so.
Yeah, it is. I can assure you that is. What are some of the key challenges that you face in that role?
So safeguarding, I look after safeguarding vulnerability, and within that, the priorities for me are trespassing. So when people go on track, violence against women and girls, and suicide prevention. And for me, I think training and ensuring that all colleagues, frontline colleagues, we're all on the same page. So understanding that our colleagues aren't social workers, but as I mentioned, our colleagues work long hours, and they experience not the nicest of passengers, unfortunately. So understanding and empowering them to handle those situations in an appropriate manner, but also working with our stakeholders to manage these incidents, or manage these vulnerabilities in the community before they become a risk on our stations.
Yeah, because it can be quite traumatic sometimes. Well, like you just said about suicide prevention and things like that. I mean, do you give or do you offer support and training or therapy even to your staff members? Is that something that you guys do?
Yes, absolutely. So as an industry, we work with Samaritans to provide the suicide prevention awareness training. And actually, speaking of Samaritans, I'm not sure if you're familiar with my colleague Rizwan Javid. He saved the lives of 29 individuals across throughout his career, and he's also received an MBE. So fantastic work, and that just highlights just some of the work and some of the incidents that our colleagues have to deal with. But support is out there, so we have employee assistance programs, and we, as a safeguarding manager for the Elizabeth line, I do check in our colleagues, and obviously there's line managers who check in on colleagues, etc. But it's making sure our colleagues, unfortunately, if there is a traumatic incident, making sure that we're working with our external stakeholders to make sure the travelling public are okay, and also educating them on the dangers of the railway. And you know, we've got the summer break, and we've got the spring break, and we might have young people who come into the railway out of boredom, and they might think it's fun to go on tracks, and actually, you know, there's hundreds of volts that go in, and that can be actually life-threatening. So just trying to educate individuals on the impact of the dangers of the railway. Whilst it's a great place, you know, especially the Elizabeth line, and perhaps I'm biased because I work for the Elizabeth line, but you know, completely transforming the way you travel across London.
Yeah, I've only used it a couple of times, but I have to say I'm very, very impressed. Although perhaps not at Liverpool Street, because you have to go down a lot of escalators to get there, don't you?
Yeah.
A lot of escalators to get there. But mashallah, that's great news, because safeguarding on tubes is and trains obviously is very, very important. Unfortunately, I've experienced a negative experience years and years and years ago, and I didn't know how to escalate it or to who to talk to. So I think the fact that you care about your employees and your staff members, and you work with internal, external stakeholders, and it is more commonplace now and more widely talked about, I think that's absolutely smashing, honestly. Very, very, very good.
Yeah, thank you. So we do actually work closely with the British Transport Police, and as part of the leadership team, we do provide advice and guidance to senior leadership within the industry on diversity and inclusion matters. And we actually have a very important meeting on how we tackle Islamophobia within the transport industry. And actually trying to educate not just the Muslim population, but also the regular commuters around what hate crime is, or what does an assault look like, and not actually accepting it as normal or as part of the journey. So just trying to give them the toolkits. So the British Transport Police contact number. So I don't know if you're familiar, if you travel by train often, but the CX8 sorted, the 61016 text number. So that's really important. So keep it saved on your phone if you need it.
Let's get that out there again. 61016.
Yeah.
61016. 61016.
Yeah, and it's a free text service if you ever need to report any crime.
Right.
And it's discreet.
Free text service reporting any crime. That's a great one to have. 61016. Excellent. Right. So what advice would you give to young professionals, especially women, because you're obviously an advocate for women here, to make a difference in the transport industry?
I think you need to be confident and take initiative. And it's easier said than done, because when I started, I was like a little mouse. I wouldn't make any sound.
But look at you now, an amazing role model for Muslim women out there.
Thank you. I mean, I have a long way to go, but actually being confident in yourself. And what's the worst that they can say? Say no. But at least you put yourself out there.
Don't ask, you don't get.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, you know, take an initiative. And I think, you know, the rail industry is quite male-dominated. However, that is changing. So, you know, use that to your advantage. You know, me being a Muslim hijabi woman, you know, I'll take that to my advantage. I don't let that hold me back. And actually, alhamdulillah, I have found that hijab empowers me to, you know, come forward, share my views, and actually challenge the status quo. And I think also really important is try and build a support network around you. Try and get mentorship. So find perhaps someone with experience within the industry. It doesn't necessarily have to be a woman, but a woman is great. And try and understand their experiences and talk to them about your challenges and how you can navigate through the workplace.
That's amazing, honestly, amazing words, inspirational words.
Jazakallah khair.
Honestly, that is so lovely to hear, because I can relate, because I've worked in a male-dominated environment, and obviously being a hijabi as well, it is empowering. Those who say about oppression, you need to actually go out and speak to Muslim women, rocking it, absolutely rocking it and repping it. So thank you very much for that. So if people do want to get in contact with you, I believe you do a bit of social media and everything like that. You said you've got 3,000 followers. I would like you just to repeat that free text number again. How do they do that?
Yes, so if you'd like to know a little bit more about Muslims in Rail, check out our LinkedIn page and our Instagram page, Muslims in Rail, where we'll answer any questions. We promote our social events and keep you posted on our upcoming events.
You do
and
social
campaigns.
events? What kind of social events are they?
So we're actually planning our next Eid dinner, inshallah.
Ooh.
So yeah, so keep an eye out for that. We had our Discover Ramadan events during Ramadan where we invited non-Muslim guests, where we also we have fast money challenges where we invite non-Muslim colleagues to give up their lunch money donated to charity. And as I mentioned, just plugging in Muslim Aid, who have been fantastic in providing support, literature, etc. for us. So alhamdulillah, as I mentioned, we managed to raise over £10,000 for Muslim Aid throughout Ramadan. And my team, you know, we like to create a bit of competition. My team came third, Sultana squad. So
podium finish, can't go wrong.
No, so alhamdulillah, yeah.
I love that initiative. What is it? Fast
money.
Fast money.
Yeah.
That's amazing, because some people think, I can't do a whole fast, I can't do a whole day, the whole not even water comment, which we've all had. But to give up their money for charity is a lovely initiative that they can get involved in.
Yeah, and we actually did. We had our performance team at my workplace, alhamdulillah, you know, some of them took part in fasting, gave money to charity, and those who didn't fast, they also gave money to charity. So it's really positive in helping them to do a good deed for the day.
MashaAllah. Listen, Sister Sultana, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you. So again, Muslims in Rail is your Instagram handle and your LinkedIn page, and 61016
to report any crime.
Is the free text number, which is anonymous and to report any crime.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Right, everyone, how amazing was that lovely sister? We're going to just go for a quick break now. Maybe you've got time for a quick cup of tea, put the rice on for dinner. Who knows? Don't go anywhere, though. Don't change the channel. See you in a few minutes. Assalamu alaikum.